Handicapper Steve here, handicapping the racing from Monmouth Park here on Sunday. It is the 8th of September 2024. Going to look at the 9th race from Monmouth, but before I get on to that, remember to please follow me on Twitter at HorseRacingKid5 for more selections for race courses around the world, and I mean it, around the world. Let's look at the featured 9th race from Monmouth, which is named after a very good horse, I think. The 9th race, it's the Precious Passion Stakes, going for a purse of $100,000, race for 3-year-olds and upwards. We have a field of 8 horses going 2,400 meters or a mile and a half on the Monmouth Park turf course. Rails are up at 12 feet. Named after Precious Passion, nearly winning the 2009 Breeders' Cup Turf on the front end at Santa Anita. Got caught by a European invader. I can't think of it right now. It could have been Conduit, maybe. But he was a great horse, and it was just a one-run kind of horse. Just see how far the speed could go. He won the UN here at Monmouth in about 2008 or 9, and he was just flying off fast fractions and just kept going. That was impressive. But back to my selections and my analysis of this race. I'm going to go with the number 6 horse, Highland Chief. Let's go 6153 in the superfecta. 6153 super. Top selection 6 horse, Highland Chief. The 7-year-old horse by Glen Eagles. Grand Motion trains. Romero Mirage gets the mount. The horse's most recent appearance came the Arlington Million at Colonial, almost at Arlington, but it was at Colonial, mile and a quarter on the outer turf course, the 11th of August. He beat nobody home. He finished 6 by 8 1/4 lengths that day, and he didn't do a lot. I think down in class here today wasn't the world's toughest million we've ever had, but I think down in class back to a longer trip of a mile and a half, he's going to be in the right spot to win. He ran in Laurel, mile and 8th on 14th of July in a listed race, and he finished second by 4.5 lengths. He only had 3 other rivals that day, but he stalked. He needed that extra turn of foot, but he got around the race course well. I thought that was a good confidence builder with that place that day. And the grade 3 dinner party at Pimlico, mile and 8th on very soft ground, Preakness Day. He finished 4th by 5 lengths. He stalked, but then just couldn't get the good turn of foot. And then first start in nearly over a year and a half came at Keeneland, a mile and a half in the grade 2 Elkhorn. He finished 5th by 7.5 lengths, and I thought he wanted to go. Johnny didn't want to let him go, but he got around the race course okay. His 2022 form wasn't bad at all. He won the Man of War at Belmont in the spring of 22, came back to run a decent 4th in the Bowling Green, won the Sycamore in the fall, and came back to run in the Breeders' Cup Turf where he wasn't catching Rebels Romance. It's probably one of the weakest Breeders' Cup Turfs we've ever had, but he just wasn't catching that group of horses that day. But I think down in class here today against these quality horses at 2-1, he could find the winner's circle. I think the one horse that can be done for Red Oak Stable and Joe Bravo and Gregory Siaco can win also. He's winner of his last 3, starting on the 17th of March at Tampa, going a mile on a start and lounge race where he won by 1.5 lengths on the front end. Kind of like Precious Passion, seeing some good fractions that day and kept going. Came back to win, going a mile on optional 30 here at Monmouth on Memorial Day weekend, and came back to win in July here in a start allowance race quite nicely from a tracking trip. He's coming to a longer trip for the second time here today. He ran the Japan Turf Cup at Laurel last September, where he just never really got into it late. I thought he was just going a little bit too fast for the fractions that day. I think slowing it down on the front end, he could find a trip to win. I would use him on the ticket. He's definitely bred for this one. And I think the mare here, the 5 horse, or the filly here, the 5 horse 30 Thou Kelvin for Fernando Yara and Kathleen O'Connell, her races in South Florida haven't been half bad. She might have to get a little bit faster on the speed figure side, but I think she could stay the trip well. At 8-1, I'll give her a shot to beat the boys here today. Very unusual that the filly's taking on the boys in a long distance race, but she can win, I think. But to recount my selection for the 9th from Monmouth, now it's the Precious Passion. Going to take the 6 horse Highland Chief. Give kudos to the 1 horse that can be done, and the 5 horse 30 Thou Kelvin. 6153 super, 615 in the multi race. So good luck to all. Please follow me on Twitter at HorseRacingKid5. Good luck, everyone.